All right, so UFC 322 just finished and we've got a lot of things to talk about. I don't know where to start. We had a 16-second knockout opening up the main card. We had utter domination and annihilation in the main event. Islam Makhachev just ragdolled Jack Della Maddalena from start to finish. We had a decision in the co-main. We had a lot of action in the welterweight division with two insane knockouts. And of course, we had a newcomer in Ethan Ewing, who, by the way, keep an eye on that name, made his UFC debut on 2 days' notice, took out the much hyped Malcolm Wellmaker, beat him by decision, and also Kyle Dawkins choked out Gerald Mirachot in just 50 seconds. But, oh, by the way, Bo Nickel knocked out Rodolfo Vieira cold, knocked him out cold with a head kick, and then gave the double birds to everyone in the audience. That must have felt good. Anyway, let's start with the main event. Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena. So, as I said, it was domination. It was an annihilation. It was one-way traffic from start to finish, okay? We knew Islam was going to go out there and try to out-wrestle him. That's what he did. He was very successful. He took him down every single round, and the longer the fight went, the easier the takedowns became. Now, Jack, according to his coach, was stuck in the mud. He wasn't moving the feet quite as much. And at the end of every round, his coach, and I'm sure they have a great relationship, so they understand each other, should I say. But the coach was just giving him a hard time. He was like, what are you doing, mate? Don't sit there in half guard. Don't do this. Don't do that. Come on, you got to fight him. You're stuck in the mud. He was just giving him crap every single time. And Jack, as the fight was going on, was just looking more and more deflated, dejected, defeated. DC and Rogan were saying that he was grimacing. He was grimacing in pain. I'm sure that some of the elbows and the punches and the calf kicks were all hurting. But I think for the most part, it was just the fact that he couldn't do anything. He was getting taken down. He was getting controlled. He did do a good job of not giving up, okay? Because, listen, Islam is a tremendous fighter, okay? He's got a record now of 28-1. He now ties Anderson Silva for a 16-fight win streak. I still think Anderson's was more impressive because 12 of those 16 fights were title fights, and that is more impressive. And of course, we saw some wild knockouts from Anderson Silva, but still, I'm not taking away from Islam Makhachev. What he's achieved is unbelievable. He's a two-weight division champion. Anderson Silva didn't do that, and he has won 16 in a row, okay? So take a bow. Unbelievable. And it was domination from start to finish. He caught the single leg and then he sweeps the other leg in round one. In round two, he pushes Jack up against the fence. Jack got a little bit too confident. He tried to go for a whizzer kick or a hip throw. Tried to go for a hip throw on Islam Makhachev. What are you doing? You don't do that. He shouldn't be trying to grapple with Islam at all. But of course, he had success against other grapplers in the past. Against Bilal Muhammad, he was able to have some success in the grappling transitions. But of course, Islam Makhachev is the next level. Okay, so he made a big mistake there in trying to go for his own throw, ended up back on the ground. And then in rounds 3, 4, and 5, Islam just timed them perfectly. There was almost no resistance. But there was a lot of resistance on the face of Jack, right? He looked miserable. He looked like he couldn't wait for this fight to end. And I'm not saying that to insult Jack. Far from it. In fact, I'm saying the opposite, because he could have taken the easy way out several times. Islam was trying to finish him. He was trying to get Kimuras. He was trying to get straight arm locks. He was trying to get the doors multiple times that he's got many other great fighters with. And he was trying to get rear naked chokes, okay? And Jack was tired. Jack was deflated. He was dejected. He was beaten, and he knew it was. He knew he was. And all he could have done was just extend his arm. All he could have done was not resist, okay? But the man was still fighting. He was still trying to get back to his feet. His coach is giving him a hard time in the corner. They're all frustrated with him because, of course, they just want the best for him, but it wasn't meant to be, okay? Islam dominated the fight. It was one-way traffic. It was pretty easy. I don't know if Jack even landed a clean shot. In fact, he did. At the start of the first round, he landed a nice, I think it was a right hand or a left, it doesn't matter. He landed a good clean shot, and he went forward, and he was putting Islam on the back foot, which is what you need to do. Or if you're not putting them on the back foot, you need to be in perpetual motion. You need to limit the kicks. You need to throw a couple of shots and then move. You need to be always moving. Otherwise, they're going to shoot. Anyway, easier said than done, much harder when you're taking on Islam Makhachev. Now, when you look at Islam, he's now the welterweight champion, okay? Unlucky to Jack, he'll be back. I don't know if he'll be a champion again because the welterweight division is absolutely stacked. It's the best division in all of mixed martial arts right now. It's unbelievable. And tonight we saw 3 fights on the main card from the welterweight division. And next week, we've got Bilal Muhammad taking on Ian Gary as well. And Ian Gary fancies himself as fighting for a belt next. I don't know if he's going to, because the 2 knockouts that we saw tonight were spectacular. spectacular. We'll get to those in a minute. What is next for Islam Makhachev? Will it be Michael Morales? Will it be Carlos Pratis? Will it be Ian Gary? It might be. It's probably going to be one of them. It ain't going to be Bilal Muhammad if he wins, and it isn't going to be Leon Edwards anytime soon because he got knocked out cold in the second round. It was a beautiful straight left-hand. Was it a left or a right? Doesn't matter. Whatever. It was a straight backhand shot, boom, that floored Leon. Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. Well done to Islam, and we'll talk about what's next for Islam as well. Co-main event, Valentina Shevchenko, Zhang Weili. Went down just like I thought it would. Shevchenko's the bigger girl, and she wrestles these days, and she out-wrestled Zhang Weili from start to finish over 5 rounds. So this was 50 minutes of grappling in the co-main event and the main event. They were both one-way traffic. They were both one-sided. Islam dominated, Shevchenko dominated. Zhang Weili, being the shorter woman, she was always out of range with the strikes, so then therefore she was forced to rush in and kind of run at Valentina. And often when she was doing that, she would walk onto knees, she would walk onto punches, and then even when she would get the clinch, she wasn't able to outmuscle Valentina or use her superior technique to take her down. Valentina Shevchenko really is that woman. She's cleared out the division. She's unbelievable. And tonight she got a great win. Now, before that, let's get to some of the knockouts. Let's get to the real action that happened here tonight. Michael Morales versus Sean Brady. Now, Sean Brady's a great grappler. Choked out Leon Edwards last time. I thought he'd have more success. I got this one wrong. Michael Morales just went out there and bludgeoned him, right, from start to finish pretty much. Sean Brady only shot one takedown, if memory serves me correctly, but even still, that one takedown was shrugged very easily. Morales is massive for the division. He's now 19-0. Undefeated. He's got some style, he's got some flair, and the man is a knockout artist. And he was swinging big, wild, crazy shots. And when they were landing on Sean Brady, he was all over the place. He was getting wobbled, he was getting rocked. He's a nice guy, but it doesn't matter how much of a nice guy you are. Michael Morales went out there, and as I say, I'll use that term again, and I mean it respectfully, as respectful as it can sound. He bludgeoned him. He did. He just beat him up. He swung massive, wild hooks, one after the other. Brady was wobbled. He goes down. A few more shots, and that is that. So Michael Morales is definitely in the running for the next welterweight contender. Before that, we had Carlos Pratis versus Leon Edwards. Now, I thought Leon would wrestle him a little bit, and he did. He tried for a takedown in the first round, pushed him up against the fence. Nothing happening. Referee breaks them up. Leon gets a clean takedown this time, takes him down, takes his back. Carlos Pratis is standing. He's got the body triangle, Leon, and he's trying to get the rear naked choke, and he's giving little rabbit shots. And Pratis is just pulling faces that had the whole crowd laughing, and everyone in my house laughing as well, because it was kind of comical. And then in the second round, as Leon was moving away, both feet were off the ground. Pratis leans forward, one clean backhand, knocks him not off his feet because his feet were already off the ground, drops him on the ground, a follow-up shot, and he's out cold. And it was a vicious knockout, it was. So certainly a tough time for Leon Edwards. Rest up, heal up, Rocky. He's still got a future in this sport. Sadly, he has lost 3 in a row now. But there's no shame. The man has been fighting the best of the best now for a very, very long time. Carlos Pratis is the real deal. Of course, he has that one loss in the UFC to Ian Gary, right? But I think he learned from that one. Outside of that, Carlos Pratis has knocked everybody out, and he was doing this as well. He was motioning for the belt. He was saying to Dana, give me a shot at the belt. So he's in the running as well. Before that, we had another guy doing this. Everyone's doing this tonight. Beneil Dariush versus Benoit Saint-Denis. This one was done in 16 seconds. Dariush was gone in 16 seconds. The fight started. Dariush comes out hot, fast, hard, aggressive, throws a low kick, almost takes Benoit Saint-Denis off his feet. Benoit goes forward, tries to clinch. Dariush is trying to fight him off. Benoit just throws a big, massive looping left hook, lands right on the ear, and that's that. That is all she wrote. Vicious knockout. Beneil Dariush is the man. He's a tremendous fighter as well. So that was a really good, solid win for Benoit Saint-Denis. Where does that put him in the title picture? We don't know, because we're still waiting to hear what Ilia Topuria is going to do and who he's going to fight. Will it be Paddy Pimblett, who's going on at him constantly to sign the contract? Will it be Justin Gaethje that's kind of said, listen, it's title shot or nothing for me? We don't know how that's going to play out. Benoit Saint-Denis is kind of in the conversation now, though. Certainly with that, because this sport's all about what have you done for me lately? And I'll tell you who else got a great knockout on the prelim headliner. Bo Nickel got back to winning ways after getting stopped by Renier Derrida. If you remember earlier this year, beautiful knee to the midsection stopped Bo Nickel. Well, this time in the third round, he went out there. He looked great on the feet. He was piecing Rodolfo up with the jab. The striking was clean. It was sharp. He was stopping takedowns. And then in the third round, head kick, shin on shin, flush to the mush, sits him down. Rodolfo Vieira was out cold, and then he jumps up on top of the cage and he's giving everyone the bird. And that must have felt great because, listen, you know it, I know it. A lot of people were talking a lot of crap about Bo Nickel. They just were, okay? And now he gets to knock him out and he gets to have a little bit of revenge. And then he was saying, look, listen, like me, I forget what he said, but he basically asked them to make their mind up. Either support me or don't support me. Don't do that. You don't ask the crowd for support. You just say, hey, listen, if you don't like it, lump it. If you don't like it, get used to it because I'm going nowhere, idiots. I'm sticking around. I'm going to be knocking people out. And if you don't like me, then it's going to be a very unfortunate time for you. Don't ask the crowd to like you. Make them like you by not giving a damn. Also on the prelims, Robocop Rodriguez got a decision win over Roman Kopylov. Erin Blanchfield beat Tracy Cortez, choked her out in the second round with a rear naked choke. Ethan Ewing, talked about this guy at the top. He signed with the UFC 2 days ago. He trains with Callum, my son, who trains MMA at a gym called The Den in Yorba Linda. He's got a tremendous coach there. His name is Ben Jones, one of Eric Paulson's guys. Really, really good coach, understands the sport well. Ethan Ewing found out about this fight on Thursday. Made weight, did the medicals, flew to New York, took on Malcolm Wellmaker, and that's knocking everybody out. That is all the hype around him, and beat him at his own game, beat him on the feet, beat him by decision. A really good, solid performance. And he did it at featherweight. Ethan Ewing normally fights at bantamweight. He stepped up a weight class on short notice, beat Malcolm Wellmaker, so get used to that name. Ethan Ewing. This man has a future in this sport. Also, Kyle Dorcas got his second win on his second run in the UFC. Choked out Gerald Mearchart in just 50 seconds. Pat Sabatini also beat Chepe Mariscal on the early prelims by way of decision as well. So anyway, there it is. Islam Makhachev defeats Jack Della Maddalena. Who do you want to see him fight next? Is it going to be Morales, or is it going to be Prates, or is it going to be Ian Gary? I'll tell you what, out of those three, I mean, it all depends what Ian Gary does, right? And the reason I say that is because even if Bilal wins, he just lost, and I don't think he wants to fight Islam anyway. But even if Bilal beats Ian Gary, I don't think he's going to be the number one contender. I don't think he's going to get a title fight that quickly. So it comes down to Michael Morales or Carlos Prates. They're the two guys. Carlos Prates has got a tremendous amount of following and hype around him. The man's fun. He doesn't give a damn. He likes to party. He smokes cigarettes. He knocks everybody out, okay? And he just flatlined Leon Edwards. So for me, I would say Islam Makhachev versus Carlos Prates next. And of course, that's a great fight for Islam Makhachev because Carlos has been taken down by Ian Gary. He got taken down tonight by Leon Edwards. And he would get taken down once again and probably finished by Islam Makhachev. But hey, the man has got the equalizer. He does have the power. Anyway, there it is. Let me know about everything what I just said in the comment section, please. Who do you want to see Islam Makhachev face next? Who do you want to see Jack Della Maddalena face next? Should he face maybe someone that doesn't get the title fight? The problem is for Jack, he just lost the belt. But behind him, there is an absolute murderer's row. Remember at welterweight, we've still got the likes of Kamaru Usman out there, Bilal Muhammad, Ian Gary, Michael Morales. I mean, the list goes on. Sean Brady, he's not a man to be sniffed at. Yes, he got beaten tonight, but again, he's a tough fight for a lot of people. The welterweight division is the new lightweight division, and Islam Makhachev is sitting at the top of that tree. Thank you for watching. If you're still watching at this stage, subscribe and ring the bell, and I will see you soon.